Greetings, this is Marty Starr. I'm going to be commenting on the match at the Montreal tournament. This is between Richard Munitz, who is playing the yellow, or I'll just call them the white checkers, and Michael Valliere. Now, both these guys are strong players. I think Michael finished in the top 20 of the ABT in 2016, and Rich, of course, has many good results. So this is the first game of an 11-point match. I believe this is round 3 of the open, or the main section. Now Michael has got a, what is that roll? That is a 4-3. So he's thinking, thinks he wants to cover the 5-point. And he's looking for a 4. Now he can simply move the same checker, another checker from the 8-point to the 4-point, if he covers the 5-point, or he can play 13 to 9. Leaves a double shot in each case, but he believes this is the more prudent play because it leaves fewer shots and slots an inboard point. Now Rich is going to hit with a 3. His other number is a 5. And he's got to think about, does he reinforce the 8-point with a 5? Does he keep the same checker going that he hit with, which will communicate with both the other back checker on the 22-point and the checker on the 10-point? So the good thing about coming out to the 16-point is that he's trying to complete his escape, and he may make his 16-point or 10-point. And the good thing about staying back was that he would have 2 points slotted, and if he gets hit, he'd be hit inside, and he'd probably need to have a direct shot back. So 2-1, Michael's coming with a 2, and he's diversified his builders in his board with a 1, which seems reasonable. 3-2 for Richie, safeties, 2 checkers. And now double 6s for Michael. He's going a long way with that roll, both in pips and in positional advantage. Makes both bar points. Now Rich is probably just going to make his 3-point and come out to the 17-point. He did that very quickly. I believe it's correct. And now Michael wastes no time, makes his 4-point. There was really nothing else to be done. Rich safeties his checker. Now we just have a simple holding game. And the race, what is the race like? 121 pips for black, 114 for white. Okay, my count is correct. White is up 7 pips, so he's not going to be able to double. Let me check that again. 121 for black, 114 for white. So only 7 pips ahead. This is not in doubling range. That would not even be a double in a straight race at that pip count. You'd need about 8% of your count ahead to double, and that 7 pips at 8% of 114 is it's more than 7 pips by a lot. So, and there is a blot number actually for white. 6-1 leaves a direct shot. So that's one small factor. They're probably, Rich is probably making sure that of the pip count. He does not double. He rolls. I believe he's going to leave that 8-point reinforced. He saves a 6. He does not bring in and force a 6 to go 8-2. Michael plays safely with a 6-1. Now he's got to think about the 3. Does Rich? I guess he's going to just come in, and yes, he does. He doesn't want to make too awkward a distribution with 6-3. Michael comes around with a 6-4. Pip count is roughly the same range as it was. 3-1. Again, Rich is going to leave that spare on the 8 point. So instead of making the 2 point, he diversifies his checkers. That's good for the race later on. 6-1. Michael has no way to play safely except by moving from his 8 point. He makes his 1 point. And both players are just trying to play safely. So now I believe Rich is up 5 pips. And he is not going to lightly mess his board up. Instead, he does bring in that spare from the 8 point and smooth his distribution and make a 5 point board. And now Michael is going to decide, he's got to decide whether he brings both checkers in to make his 3 point or whether he saves a 6. Now, more often than used to be thought, it's better just to bring your checkers in, make a board, cross over, and Rich Munitz does the same kind of thing. He brings in checkers to the 8 point, and there's a blot. So Rich immediately doubles. He's got 17 numbers to hit. And the pip count was even, I believe, before the roll. So that's clearly enough for take in my mind. He does hit with a double 2, and he would have lost his market had he not doubled. But now Michael is in for 2. And Rich is simply going to bring his last outside checker in completely safely. No blot numbers next time. Now Michael, he can just come out. This is reasonable because he doesn't want small numbers to pick and pass and hurt his race. And Rich doesn't have a gap on the 4 point, which may hurt him. So he's going to think about how to play the 4. He plays 6-2. Is probably correct. It's probably not a big deal. Michael is deciding whether to cross efficiently to a 6 point or inefficiently to his 5 point, but maybe picking up some winning chances on double 5s later. Rich simply bears off maximum number of checkers, leaves his 3 point filled. And Michael's not, double 1s, he might have done a little better had he gone to 6-1 last time, but he's not going to cater to double 1s. If he's going to roll that small, he's going to win. Lose, he's going to be losing the game anyway. So it looks like Rich Munitz is just going to roll home to victory. There's a tiny chance for Michael to come back.
Marty,
Yep. Let's see. 4 off for Michael. That's a good way to start.
Marty, can you hear me?
Yep. All right, so Michael, boxcars from Michael. Oh my gosh, this might be enough for victory. Okay, so now this is a redouble, and I think that 2 on the 3, 1 on the 2, 1 on the 1 is a bare money take. So this would be a money drop. It improves to a take if Michael starts with an ace, except double aces, but even then, even in the best case, 2-1, which would be an underdog. So after I probably jinxed Rich and by saying, "Oh, Michael probably is going to win," but he came up with an answered double fives and double sixes. So that vindicates his decision with his 4-3 entering from the bar to come out and race. I believe he was correct to do that, and that just shows, never give up, and really, and think about your best way to win. He would have been a very big long shot for Michael to stay back on the 21 point and hope for a shot. Rich would have to strip his 6 point of spares and then roll a 6-2, and then after that long parlay, Michael would have had to hit with a 4. So that was, meanwhile, Michael's board might have been breaking. So Michael judged correctly, as I believe, just to race, and that decision led to his winning the game. So now Michael is ahead 2-0 to 11. It's still not too much different from a money situation. And Rich believes that he does not bring 2 builders down with a 3-2, as he might if he were way behind in the match. He splits with a 3. Michael hits him loose, which is standard and correct, and now Rich hits him back with a 6-4. He comes out rather than out to the 15 point to minimize return shots. Michael hits a return shot with 4-3. He does that quickly. He's, you want to hit outside your board rather than inside. It's a general rule in the early opening. And Rich is not going to let him play freely and perhaps make an anchor or an inboard point. He's going to put him on the bar, so he'll have a hard time doing that. 6-3 is case in point. A loose hit inside the inner board in the opening will make many of your opponent's 6s bad. 6-3 is bad. Michael comes out with a 3, out with a 6, duplicating 4s and 2s to hit and cover. After which, Rich Munitz promptly rolls double 2s to hit and cover. Now he's got 2 more to go. And this is an interesting decision. He could have made his 9 point, or he could have made his 11 point. Instead, he anchors on the 22 and brings a builder. And Michael hits him right back with a 6-3. 5-4 was duplicated to make the 20 point into hit. He rolled a 6-3. Now Rich hits back with a 4-1. Again, he's hitting outside rather than making the 21 anchor, would be a better anchor, but the hit really trumps that that alternative. Now Michael rolls a bad 6. He has to come in and out. Rich is now clear favorite in the game, but both sides have 3 men back, and Rich has not made a point yet. He will probably just make his bar point on Michael's head, as the expression goes. The alternative would be to make the 5 point and hope that Michael does not anchor up with a 6 to the 18 point. And it looks like there are, 11 return shots here. But the bad numbers, well, accounting 5-4, but you probably would not have hit with a 5-4. You probably would have anchored on the 20. But now there was a 3-4, which is a bad number. And now Rich must be thinking about a cube. The 4 is problematic. There's no really desirable 4 for Michael Valliere. He can lift his outside builder to the 6 point, which looks, it's safe, but it's pretty ugly. But now he's going to come down with a 4. And he's going to run into a double, and I guess he was playing the pass no matter what. So it's hard to tell off the top of my head whether it was. I like the pass after playing that 4 for Michael, but may well then take after alternative 4s. Anyway, 2-1 for Michael, 2-11. Round 3 of the Montreal tournament. Michael splits with an opening 6-2. Rich rolls one of the worst replies, 4-3, and he makes a standard play down and split. And Michael rolls a 3-1, makes the 5 point, and Rich has got double 2. So he hits with 1, and he brings 1 down to the 11. He's got to think about the last 2, and he makes his 4 point. Usually with double 2s in the opening, the default play with 2 of them is to make your 4 point from your stacked 6 point. And Rich is a believer in that little rule of thumb. Now Michael rolls 4-2 and hits back he hits back 8-4. He gained a tempo. He did not want Rich to have the full roll to make his bar point, 5 point, or tack. And he thought, 19 shots at the 4 point and 8 point together were well worth the risk of breaking that 8 point to hit. And Rich fanned with, I think it was a 6-5. He stayed on the bar, and now Michael is thinking, should I double here? He's got a 6s and 5s to hit, 4s and 2s to cover his 4 point. Well, that's a lot of numbers, but the trouble is he can't do everything at once. It's unlikely he'll be able to. He can hit and cover with some numbers, 5-4, 6-4, 5-2, 6-2. Oh, that's 8 already, 2-2. And then there's double 5s, which hits twice. So that's a significant threat, but he just decides to roll on. Now he has nothing to do with the 2 but cover. That's a good roll, and he's going to slide up to the 22 point. There's really that stands to gain, a 22 anchor, or to run with a 6, and no other one was really much good. Rich comes in with a 3 and covers with 4, covers his bar point, and double 1s for Michael, and he simply makes his 22 anchor and switches points from the 4 to the 3. He gives up his 4 point in return for the 3 point, but he keeps Rich Munitz on the bar. Rich fans. Still, Michael did not consider a double. It's a little bit early, probably. Almost certainly, I certainly would not have doubled myself. 6-4 for Michael, making the bar. And now Rich is in with a 5-1. And now Michael's got his threat's stronger because he's got his bar point, he's got his 8 point slotted. Still 2 back versus 2, though. Elects not to double. He 4-3, he improves his builder position, puts the builder on the 9, lifts to his 8-5. Rich rolls a good reply with 3-1, making his 5 point. So now it's really just a prime versus prime. Rich has got the solid 5 prime. Michael now has a broken 5 prime. But Rich's checkers are back on the 24 point, and Michael's are up at the edge of the solid 5 prime on Rich's 3 point. Now Rich rolls a 4-3 and he plays it correctly. I believe there's really no choice but to hop out with the 4-3 to the 17 point. 5-4 points on Rich. Even if Rich fans, which he does not, he rolls a 4-6. Interesting. If Rich had fanned, he still would have had an easy take. The question would have been to double rather than take, I believe. He comes in with 4 and he comes around the corner. He could have left 2 blots in the outfield, but instead he stayed back on the 21 point, and that forces Michael to hit him loose with a 6-1. And now he's going to pop out to the 17 point with a 6-2. He missed the return shot, but he's going to be in very good shape if Michael misses this shot or doesn't, or could have rolled boxcar. So he rolls a 3-2, makes his 4 point, and now Rich Munitz is going to double. And then he quickly passes. That was a quick pass. That was not Not completely clear in my mind. I think the race was close enough that Rich might have had a prayer, but it's certainly not too bad to pass if passing is indeed wrong. Now it's even at 2-2, and Michael opens with a 5-3, making his 3-point. Rich replies with a 4-2, making his 4. Now, generally in positions like this, you're biased towards splitting on the black side. After each side has made an inverted point on the third roll, you're usually going to try to split with a 6, split with a 4, sometimes split with a 2. And 4-3 for Rich Munitz, he brings 2 checkers down. That actually duplicates some 8s. It duplicates a 5-3, I guess. No, I misspoke. It doesn't really duplicate anything because 5-3 would not have hit from the 24 point. But Michael makes the bar point, and double 3s for Rich. He can make his 3-point. That will give him the maximum number of points he can get. Or he can just make his 5-point. The 5-point is a better point than the 3. But the 3-point unstacks the 6-point. So this is sort of a common dilemma. Often you'll see the bots favor making the 5-point there with that double 3, the similar position. I'm not really sure the best play in that position. They're both reasonable looking. So 5-2 hits on Rich's 9-point. Rich comes back with a 3-2, entering on the 23-point, making his 10. And Rich has got to decide which blot to safety. He safeties the forward blot, so he won't have to leave a double direct shot. And he slides to the 14-point to minimize Rich's shots. Now Rich hits with a 2-1. He's got to decide about the ace, and he elects not to spread builders with 10-9, but to safety his checker. Looks reasonable. In with a 1, down with a 6 safely for Michael. Double 1s. All right, Rich can make his bar point to block Michael's back checkers. He instantly does that, and now he can slot his 8-point, or he can make his 9-point. Now, slotting the 8 leaves 2 more shots. 4-3 and double 1, 1-6 would hit, but it duplicates 1-6. So 1-6 already hits. There's got to think, is the 8-point really it would be a more valuable point than the 9-point, because it would block any checker that Michael might put onto Rich's 2-point. So with that duplication, it leaves effectively the same number of shots, but there's a 4-3. And great roll for Michael. And now fan. Okay, so this, I predict Michael's going to double here. It looks a bit scary. He does. And Rich reflexively drops. He does not relish having 2 checkers on the bar and 5 checkers back with back game timing not assured, even if he does make a second anchor. So Michael goes ahead 3-2 to 11. Still early in this match. Good contest, a tight so far. Michael opens with a 3-2 split, and Rich responds with a double 3. This is the standard reply to make the 21 and 10 points. And 6-3 for Michael. He's got a choice. He can make his 5-point. He can make the 18-point, as he does, or he can make the 21-point. This is the safest play that he's made, and it's It's likely correct. I would have done it myself. Rich rolls 1-1. He makes both 5 points, and Michael 4-1 makes his bar. You know, the thing about making the bar, the 18 point for Michael with that 6-3 earlier, he gets his backman completely out of trouble. And if he had made the 21 point, that anchor would have been blocked better from Rich's perspective, and a 6 would have been problematic. He would have had to leave a direct shot or bury a checker. So both for safety and ease of play later, not being blocked, he made the 18 point. Rich puts a couple of blots into his inner board. He's slotting them for later, keeping a spare checker. That was a 2-1. I think that was a 2-1. And Michael volunteered a direct shot. That's interesting. He thinks, okay, I don't want to bury a checker. Rich simply fills in his 4 point, and he goes 3-2. And it would have made a harder decision with Rich's double 5s. He would have, suppose he would have preferred to hit the knot. It's interesting. It's 2-1 by Michael leaving, volunteering a shot. Now, but Rich has missed the shot, and now just development proceeds at pace. It's just a mutual holding racing position. Suppose I ought to take a pip count. We got 124 for black, 115 for white, black on roll. So about even. Pretty close. And 6-2, he's just going to play safely. He's not going to volunteer shots against Rich's big 4 point board. He might have hit, though. Had he rolled an ace, he might well have hit. Now Rich again doesn't want to leave a blot in the outfield. He starts to work on his board. He slots the 2 open points. But he's a little squeezed for 6s. However, the close race means, there's a bit of an awkwardness factor on both sides. So Rich has the more awkward position, although Michael had to, he broke his 8 point rather than keep it and play awkwardly within his board. Now he's got a good distribution of builders, which he can use to make his board up. And rather than break his board, Rich says to himself, all right, I have a stronger inner board, 4 points versus 2. 102 pips for white. 36 and 57 is 93, and 26, 109, 119, and then he hit and covered, and now Rich is going to, so Rich is thinking, okay, Rich decides he will not hit and leave multiple blots. He could have hit with an ace, and then he would have been he might have been on the gammon try against a fan, but he didn't like the prospect of being hit back. And he still would have retained his 20 anchor. He must like his chances from here. And indeed, Michael Valliere has to leave a shot, a direct shot, and trouble is if Rich misses a direct shot, he's still got some awkwardness. He had to break his 6 point. With a 5-3, he could not hit. So Michael doubles. This is a big. This is a very. This might be a little too rich. The timing may not be the biggest factor. Rich still has got a bigger board. Now he's got an extremely bigger board. He's just rolled a very nice 2-1 to make his 4 point. And now Michael is banking on later shots, and he has made his 3 points, so he's got a Munitz. He must play both checkers out. He for double twos is 5-9s except for double threes. He's got their eight shots, and he hits one of them. And Rich has got a few return shots. That's prominent among them is double fives. Rich is now with a great return shot. He hit on the 15 point. Now he can play. He can play sort of super safely by making the 8 point. He could now. That gives him, what is that? 22 shots at that blot if after a fan. And Michael fans, with those 22 shots, there aren't really too many bad numbers. And Rich correctly, I believe, is playing on for Gammons. So he hits with an ace. I believe he should pay off to boxcars and come around the corner with a 3. That will do him proud if Michael rolls a single 6. Of course, he will be very unhappy if he rolls joker boxcars. But he will increase his gammon chances by doing that. And he does elect to pay off to the boxcars. Michael fans, we saw a dramatic turnaround, and now I guess that was a cock double 2. Double 2, of course, would have made the 6 point. He rolls double 1s. He makes the 6 point anyway. With 3 of them, he's going to go 16 to 15. That's the only way to make double 6s safe. Next turn, he can go 15 to 3 and 12 off safely. 4-1, he must make the 11 point for safety. It's not going to hurt him too much if he rolls an E6 or 5. He'll be safe next turn. 6-4, he'll just play safely. Now there are no 0 blot numbers. That spare on the 5 point takes care of the 4th 5 or 6 he may roll. Rolls double 5s or double 6s, he's safe. Double 4s, he's safe. There's double 4s. And 7 to 3, 5 to 1 for sure. And now Rich that's an interesting decision. He plays safely. I believe he's correct, 6 to 2 twice. And Michael fans on 6-1. If the choice were to bear off 2 and have a gap on the 5 point, it would have been a closer decision. Now Michael enters with a 5. Rich has got 6 blot numbers. He does not roll one of them. 2 off with a 6-3. Might be a tight race for Gammon, although now it's black as an underdog to save it. 4-1 and 5-3. Okay, now Michael is out. He's trying to save the Gammon, but Rich is continuing to bear off with a 2-1. His plan is just to bear off as many checkers as possible. There's a 6-1, so he crosses twice. He crosses to the outer board, so his 5s play, and 7 to 6 is the best he can do. Oh, there's 3 off with a double 2. If he doesn't miss with a 2, then Michael will have quite a big task to save this Gammon. 4-3. Oh, now should he cross twice? I think he should cross twice with the 4 there and 3 into the 4 point. And he does. Now if he makes 2 crossovers, I think that'll help his chances. So 2 off for Rich Munitz. 5-1. The only miss is 2-1 next turn. 2-1. Okay, so I don't think he's got anything but to play for double 5s. That's not a play. That's playing that with a 2 automatically. I believe that's going to ensure him bearing off with a double 5, but on the chance that's the most thing, but on the most important thing, on the chance that he's going to go back and look some more. This does not get him double 5, so this is incorrect, not to fill the 5 point. After he fills the 5 point, I think you should go 16 to 15, moving the outer board. that is not going to get him double fives either. He must fill that 5 point. And he should play that, and I believe that's better in case Rich misses with 2-1. Gets the same double fives, but he gets more double crossovers. Doesn't matter, off for the 3, 5s or 6s to save the gammon. Michael rolls 4-2. 4-point gammon for Rich. He's had 6-3 to 11. So 5 away to 8 away. So Rich is going to be a little bit conservative with a cube at this score. A single point win will give him 4 away, which is kind of a milestone because he could win the match with a 4-point win, whether it's a 4 cube or a double 2 cube. Gammon on 2. And his recubes will be severely inhibited because there'll be an auto recube to 8. So Rich opens by making his 5 point, and Michael slots his 5 point. He wants to be aggressive at this score. And with a 2-1 now Rich Munitz hits with a double 1. And 3-1 for Michael, he comes in with a 3 and he hits loose. Again, that's quite a reasonable play. Can't quite see the it's a 2-1 it was. He entered with a 2 and 6-5 to diversify. And now Michael got what he wanted. He made his 5 point. He played his 5, 11-6 for a spare on the 6 point, which is useful. And that is I think that was a 6-1. I got to tell Matt Reclitus I have to see the whole board here. Yeah, Michael hit on his 9 point with a 3-1. What was that? Rich came out to the bar point, hit with a 3-1 again, hit back. Now they're pumping checkers ruthlessly to Michael's bar point. But now that little flurry has stopped. Oh, he's going to continue his flurry. Now he hits loose on the 1 point. Now that stops Rich from doing much in terms of making points, but it puts a checker in an undesirable position on the 1 point. Michael felt it was worth it to gain the tempo. Rich replied with a bad 6-4, came out into the teeth of builders, and Michael's now hit twice with a 3-1. Trouble is, well, he's only got 9 checkers in the attack zone there, and he's on the attack. He hits on the 3 point with a 5, and he covers the ace point with a 2. And Rich fans with a double ace and a quick double by Michael Valliere and a quick take by Rich Munitz. So he's got 2 on the bar, but still 9 checkers in the zone, and 4 checkers back for Michael Valliere, and Rich has got his own 5 point. So he's betting that if he can come in quickly and maybe hit a checker after Michael hits loose, which he will do unless he can make a point, unless it's illegal. So now he's going to hit. He's breaking his midpoint for a builder. He's full on the attack. He would love to win a double gammon here, put him ahead in the match. He would get to 4 away as well. So as you might be able to tell, the controversial rule about dice on checkers, where if a die lands flat on a checker or unambiguously showing a number on a checker, it's legal. They're not playing that rule in this tournament. The director, Ross Gordon, does not like that rule, so it's his option not to use it. I will objectively take no side in that controversy in my official capacity as commentator. So 6-3 for Michael. Now he is covered with a 6, and he's got to think about his 3. He could come down with a 3, get a builder closer to the action, not in the zone technically. It's not direct range to no point. critical here. Now, Rich did not enter. He didn't anchor up. 5-1. He's got now Michael's on the attack. He does not want Rich to anchor. He would like Rich to fan. 4x. He fans. And 6-4. He covers. So I believe you should. Okay, this is. Maybe it would have been better to break the anchor and diversify more. He's on. Double fours is an anti-joker here. He would have paid off to double threes being hit with 21 to 15. So now I believe he should. There's two schools of thought. You bring in builders as quickly as you can. With a play like 16 to 5, he'd come around from Rich's outfield to bring a builder to his inner board. So he'd have builders 2 away from the open 3-point and 7 away and 18 away. His double sixes could reach the 3-point from the 21 anchor. Another school of thought is kind of hybrid. You want to bring builders to the scene, but you also want to make sure your back checkers don't get stalled with funny numbers. A funny number here, let's say if Michael plays 16 to 5, a funny number would be double fours, which would be a disaster because it would break a point in Michael's board. He could foresaw a possibility. He's going to say, okay, I'm going to play his back checker all the way. That's reasonable. It's on the same idea. I think I might have played. I might have gone to the 11-point and come and broken the anchor. But now it's working out all right. He's still got to worry about double fours. But he's got 2 checkers, 2 builders in range of the open 3-point. Rich enters with a single 3. 6s and 5s now hit. There's a double 5, so he'll hit with one of them. He wants to close that board and win a gammon and go ahead 7 to 6. And now he's all right. Now he's bringing another builder to a 6-point. So he's got 6s and 3s to cover should Rich miss. Rich does not miss. Rich is tough. He hangs in there with a single 3. And now 4-6, and Michael follows the game plan of closeout and gammon. He hits loose with a 6. Now Rich fans. Now 3-4 does not cover, interestingly. 4-2, he's going to come around. He frees the checker from that one checker from the 4 squeeze. And Rich Munitz fans and double 3s, a great roll. Now that gets the back checkers moving and it covers. And now even double 3s plays safely for the moment. Rich has 2 closeouts, almost a certain gammon if he does not hit a blot. And Michael is just coming around with a 6-4. He comes around 6-2. He cannot get off a double 6, leaving a blot. So he may as well just fill his 6-point. Anything else besides double 6s is going to give him a nice distribution. 5-4, this is a pretty good distribution. So he can bring 2 checkers to his 5-point. It's a little safer to bring 1 to his 6 with a 4. You go to the 4-point. He's got pure even on the end. He's considering putting a checker deep on the deepest 2-point. I don't think that's correct. So now he's going with even on the high 2 points, which is an important concept. He could have put 2 on his 5-point, but then if you roll double 6 or double 5s, he'd be worse off. Double 6s now, you observe that he's got 2 on his 5-point instead of he would have had 3 the other way. And shot danger would have been much greater. He's still got some shot danger here, Michael. Now he bears 2 off. That would have left a blot the other way. It would not have left a blot had he played his other thought, which would be... but Rich enters, moving a spare to his 2-point. He didn't do that earlier, and now It looks like just a cold gammon for Michael. Will Rich concede? If he's having this evaluated for backgammon master's awarding body, he won't, because he can get a few driblets of PR by he'd probably get 0 driblets of PR. He could have played 13-6 and then saved the backgammon next turn, but Rich just concedes. That's the gentlemanly thing to do. He had about 0 chance of saving the gammon, so it's still a tight match. 4 away for Michael Valliere and 5 away for Rich Munitz. It was quite a reasonable take, I believe, by Rich, but it did not work out. And the aggressive double by the trailer did work out for Michael. He was the trailer, and he won a 4-point gammon. And now Rich is going to slot with an opening 5-1. Not favored by the bots, but he's behind by a point. He may also want to complicate the game. Michael misses. He runs out to the 15-point. Rich covers with a 5-1. 3-1 for Michael. He comes around. Instead of making a 5-point. I believe XG would not have favored that play, because to hit would have stripped the midpoint. Now Rich is going to mix things up by splitting and bringing a builder off his heavy 8-point. It's technically it's called under the gun if you got 3 builders aiming at you. But Michael only had 9 rolls to make that 5-point on Rich's head. He rolls a 3-2. He comes up with a 3 and down with a 2. He does not want to hit loose against Rich's bigger board, and indeed, Rich does not hit the back checker. He rolled a 5-3. He could not hit that checker on his own 4-point that Michael placed there in hopes of getting it out last turn. Now this is a bad roll for Michael. He could play safe with 13-8, or he could hit twice and stop Rich from attacking on the 4-point, unless with double 4s or double 2s. The risk is that he gets hit back, but even now he's got, if he rolls a 4 or 2-2 or 3-1, he's got his anchor. He rolls a 4-3. He anchored on the 21 points, so that was the defensive possibility he had, even if he did get hit. Now, with Michael anchored, Rich's problem is his back checkers. So one school of thought would be to move both back checkers up. Another would have been to move one of them up somewhere, like 24-18 was a play. Instead, Rich is slotting he's just leaving his back checkers in a more safe position. He's not burying a checker. He slots his bar point. Now that's, it might be good to make 4 points in a row, but I guess his idea was to keep his back checkers in a more safe position. Sort of the default thing to do is, if you're stuck in a position where your opponent's threatening to block your back checkers, is make some aggressive attempt to stop that from occurring. He could have played, I think play B was 24-18, but that, and Michael hit him with a double 3. He made the 18 and 3 points. And the good thing is he's gained time. He sent a 3rd checker back. He's advanced his anchor to the 18 point where the checkers can move more freely. But he's a little bit spread out by making a 3 point and stripping a 6 point. He could have hit once and made the 5 point, leaving his back checkers a little bit in some disarray. But Rich comes back and he makes the 18 point. So that leaves Michael with TMP, too many points. He's got 7 points made, and now he's got to break one of them, unsurprisingly. And he leaves a direct shot. He slots his 5 point. No other play did as much. You could have left 2 blots in the outfield, but a little risky against White's 3 point board. Rich hits with a 3-1. And Michael fans with a double 3 now. Rich is probably not going to double. He's sort of threatening to threaten. He has few market losing sequences. You have to make his 4 point and then something bad by Michael. 5-1. Sorry, I misread that as 4-1. Well, 5-1. He can't move his back. Now he's going to break his 18 point. Now this is he must be ahead in this race. So. It's 134, 72, and 62 is 131, 41. He's way ahead in the race. So Rich. That's a very, very good move by Rich Munitz, I believe. He breaks his 18 point. He does not want to. And now Michael fans, and now he is 20 some pips ahead, I believe. And now this is an excellent double, I believe. But Michael takes it quickly. He's banking on his. To be fair, pretty good holding chances. But the trouble is he was on the bar, and Rich had a few numbers to make that 4 point. 4-1, double 2s, double 4s. The double 4s being the best roll on the board, I believe. So that's what he's done. Michael's fanned, and now after he fans, he got doubled, and now Rich rolls a joker to make his 4 point. 2-4. Okay, he's in at least. Michael is in. He has nothing better than to slot his 4 point. And Rich is going to attack with a 4 point board versus a 2 point board with a blot. He will hit with a 6 and bring a builder in with a 4, hoping that Michael will fan. Or if he doesn't fan, he hopes not to be hit back. Michael Valliere has entered with a 3-1. He may be thinking of hitting loose, but we would leave many return shots. So he just plays as safely as he can, 4-1. And now this is a tough choice for Rich. Maybe tough, maybe not tough for him. He's just going to hit. I believe this has got to be right. He can't just allow Michael a great chance to come in and out, but now Michael has rolled a joker there. Hitting cover, 5-1. Okay, no, 5-3. All right, so now Rich doesn't hit back, but he anchors. And he must play safely, I believe, with a 3, 6-3. Okay, so now Rich has still got an advantage. And Michael hits with a 3-2. That's the only. It minimizes shots. It sends a third checker back. Okay, 4-2. Now Rich must hit loose. He elects to come in on the 4 point. Hit with a 2. That's got to be right. It maximizes covers if Michael fans. Michael comes in with a 3-2. He does not fan, of course, but he's got to worry about having an outside checker hit. That's a 6-something for Rich. I don't see the top die on Michael's side of the board, but he's thinking, so probably is not a 3. It's probably not a 5 with a 6 because he'd be hitting. It might be a 2 or it might be a 1. His double 6s, I think he'd play more quickly. So it must be a 2 because if it was a 1, yeah, so it's a 2. So he minimizes blots. He leaves a shots outside, but he really had no choice. 6-4 now. Michael he's got several plays here with the 6-4. He can make his 9 point. He can simply point on Rich. with a 6-4 like that. He's looking at that. Now he's looking at the safe play, making the 9 point. He makes it. He makes it. Now it was a bit risky to. Now it would have been a bit risky to make that 4 point. So instead, he puts a broken 4 prime against Rich's back checkers, and Rich has been forced to. Rich could not hit him, so he was forced to play safely, lifting his blot putting his spare back checker on the 20 point where it's safe, and then coming down with a 5 looked like a pretty good, strong 6-4 on Michael's part. Certainly against the 5-1 reply it was. Michael has played 2 5s. He's considering a third. He's escaped his back checker, and he just brings a back checker all the way around to the 3 point, leaving maximum blockage. And now he's very happy he did, because Rich might have been able to pop out with double 4s. Now he has to lose his 6 point and leave his back checkers alone. So 99 pips for Rich Munitz. And what is that? That looks like 91 pips for Michael after that play. So now the 8 pips make it, I believe it's 91 apiece, but now Rich has got some wastage going on. 91, 60, 81, 84, 91, some wastage going on. But it would be an auto redouble to 8 if Michael were to redouble to 4. The game would be for the match. Rich would certainly take rather than go down 2 away to 5 away. I think he would certainly take. Maybe he wouldn't certainly take. But 6-3, all right, he's going to break his 10 point. And he's glad he did, versus a 9 point. Now he doubles to 4, and now this is, I guess Rich assesses that the degree of blockage is and the wastage within his board is too much to handle. So I think he's probably right. So he gives up now. Now Michael's ahead. He only needs 2 points to win the match. I think he's supposed to have about a 74 or something like that percent to win, or off the top of my head anyway. So he opened with a 6-4, making his 2 point. Interesting decision as the leader in the match. Rich replied with a 4-2. Now he's got a stronger inner board, and so Michael just plays 5-1, reinforcing his 8 point and splitting a conservative play. Now Rich is gonna double. Okay, it's a real question whether he's got enough winning chances to do so. He thinks he does. It's, at any rate, it's not too bad. Michael certainly is not going to be dropping this. So Rich might have wanted to wait a little bit, hoping that Michael might make an error taking or passing, whatever, whether in a position like this, you sometimes want to give your opponent enough rope to hang himself. Rich is doing okay now. He's left a blot, and Michael's hit back, and now Rich is, the cube is dead for Michael. That's important. So Michael is now he runs to the 15 point. There's some 3 duplication to anchor and to hit. Michael could have made an anchor on the 22 point for safety. Rich does hit with a 5-3. It hits on the 10 point and comes out with a 5. And Michael is now he's at a clear disadvantage. And Rich has got a very good 6-2. He could leave his back checkers alone and bring a builder to his 8 point, but instead he elects to make his 16 point, which is very good. It's a very good point. It looks at the outfield, gets the back checkers moving. Michael rolls a joker 3-3 up to the 20 point with 2 of those 3s. He makes a 10 point for more builders. So that was the best roll for Michael. Rich plays a safe 4-2, brings his outside checker in. Michael rolls 3-2, and he's happy to make a new point. Makes his 3. Double deuce for Rich Munitz. He's got to think about making the 11 and 14 points, or both 11 points, which is better blockage. So he goes for the better blockage. The 16 point is slightly better defensively, but again, Michael's got TMP. He's got 7 points made, so he's probably going to have to break one next turn. So 6-2, he certainly does have to break a point. So maybe against TMP, Rich was not too worried about the value of the 16 point versus the 14 point, and puts maximal blockage on Michael's back checkers. Michael played safe with a 6-2, 10-2. 7 shots, which Rich does not cash in on. Now Rich is going for the value of the 14 point over the 13 point. He's making a solid 4 prime. He really had no choice but to move the 11 point, and what looked like a 4-1 or a 3-2 from Michael. 10-5 safely. 6-2 for Rich. Rich is trying to run. Michael hopes to hit a 4. He rolls double 4s. He can make his 1 point. Now he's going to seize it. Makes a 5 point board versus slightly maximizing his chance to make his 4 point next turn. And Rich Munitz is on the bar with, oh my goodness, now a double 6 joker for Michael Valliere. If Rich does not come back with a nice roll, this match will be over soon. He fans a few jokers from Michael Valliere. Michael plays safely with the 6-5. He could have paid off to 4-3. It was worth looking at. Rich fans again with double 2. So from a 6-3 lead, Rich is now really behind the 8 ball. Mini joker for Michael, clearing his 8 point safely. Rich fans. The cube is on 2, so if Michael Valliere wins this game, he wins the match with a score of 11-6. He clears his 6 point, and Rich fans. He's hoping for big doubles from Michael. 4-3 is safe, but now more blot numbers appear. Of course, he rolls 9 6s. And he's 6-4. He stays on the bar. A 4-3 for Michael. There is a blot has appeared. 13 shots. This could be the last chance. The Kibitzers are screaming for that 5. Actually, I can't hear them. I'm sitting in New Hampshire. And this is being played in Montreal, and it is a 5. I can't see either die, but it must be a 5. 4-1. He hit with a 4-1, and Rich is in the game. He's in the match. Michael Valliere has no checkers off as yet. I don't think he has any checkers off. He's in. Michael is in on Rich Munitz's 3 point. I can't see the whole roll. It's 5 something. It's 5-2. Okay, so he spreads builders in his outfield, hoping to catch Michael Valliere if he rolls 2 something. He rolls a 4-1, he just goes 2-1, maintaining his 3-point board. Rich has rolled a 1 and something. It's either a 1-1 or a 3-1. He makes the 3-point in any case. It's a good way to use that spare on the 4-point. Now Rich will attack if he possibly can. 4-2, he points on the 5-point. And Michael Valliere will be in trouble this game if he does not come back with a 6-1 or 5-2. He fans. So with no checkers off, if Rich is able to make this 6-point prime, he rolls a 3. It looks like a 3-1. Yeah, 3-1. So he's going to leave his 8-point slotted, I believe. He's going to shift to the. He's going to shift to the. Yeah, so now he wants to make a 6-point prime and go for a second checker and a gammon. So he does make the 6-point prime, and he brings a builder in to a 6-point, and he brings another builder closer to the 9-point. 4-1 now. This is a little, I'm not sure about that ace. He might have wanted to be hit. He might want to be on the bar if Rich does something like that. But equally, he might not want to hit if he is on the bar, if he's hit loose. But now, if he's not on the bar, he has to move his checkers forward with each turn. Now, Rich is bringing 2 builders, and he hopes that Michael rolls a deuce and leaves a blot, and he does. He rolls. He must play 3-1, and now Rich is going to hope to hit loose on the 1-point, and then have Michael hit him back, and then have a shot at a second checker. He'd be hoping to close both checkers out and get a gammon. It looks like a 2-1. So he's playing very aggressively for that gammon. He breaks his 6-point prime. And this is the risk, of doing that. Against a 2-point board, the risk may well have been justified. And again, no, he hit loose. He was hit. He hit loose on the edge of his prime, the 2-point. But again, Michael Valliere came back with a deuce. Now Rich is going to hit him again, and keep that 5-point prime. He does not want him winning the game by rolling 6 and then getting missed. That's a 2-3 die on checker. Does not count. 2-5. He hits now. At least Rich has got many checkers in the outfield to try to catch Michael Valliere's last checker. So that was probably a 5-1. And a non-6, a 4-1 for Michael. And a 1x. Again, I apologize, I can't see both dice. I've got to get Matt Reclitus to yell at Richard Munitz. Now Richard is slotting the back of the prime. That's an interesting decision. He's got kind of few checkers to attack with, so it does make sense. And now he just makes the 8-point from the 20-point. Now he's got a 6 in a row. And he's back on the same game plan. Now Michael has rolled another ace. Now his 2-point is stripped. That's a 5 and something, 5 and 2. So he brings a checker builder as close as possible. Now blot has appeared on the 2-point. Now will Rich get loose and break his prime? And it looks like he got a double 3. So he did not have to break his prime. He moved 11-2 hit, and okay, now he fans and 6-1. This is an interesting choice. He could have made his 2-point, but he's going to say, no, Mr. Valliere, I'm going to give you the maximum chance to hit me and have me get that second checker. 4-3, he just plays safe. He keeps his 6 prime, brings another builder a little bit deep on his 3-point, up 4-3 at least. Now Rich will probably be able to make his 2-point and still leave. That's a 6-2, and he 8-2, 8-6. He's hoping for an ace followed by a return hit. There's the ace, 5-1. And any deuce would be very nice indeed. 6-1, but now shall he do this? Oh, this is again, this is the same idea. He's maximizing his chance for Michael Valliere to hit and then recirculate. Double sixes, forced play, making the 1 point twice. Rich did not want that to happen, but so it did happen. Now Rich will probably just cover his deuce point and be a little bit risky not to do so. I can't see what he has rolled. We'll find out as soon as he so it looks like 5-2, and he closes his board. Now he's on track just to win 2 points. It looked like a 6-2. He bore off and played safe, 6-4. Now Michael is in with a 6-2. He's hoping for boxcars to win like he did the other time, but Rich beats him to it with double fives. There's no chance Rich can win a gammon. There's a teeny tiny chance Michael can win, but I don't think there still is a teeny tiny chance he can win, I guess. 3-2 bears off. 4-1 bears off. 6x, 6 off twice, so that's going to be gin. He's got more than 8 checkers left. I think he's got 9 checkers left. All right, the match continues. It is 2 away for Michael Valliere and 3 away for Richard Munitz. So Michael was, I don't want to say he was counting his chickens. I don't think he's a chicken counting kind of guy, but it was very close to victory in the match when Rich Munitz hit a last ditch shot and 13 number shot and came back to win the game. Michael starts with a 6-1, making the bar. Double ace for Richard, making both bar and 5 point. Now that's the play now. Rather than slot and play catch up in the priming battle, Michael splits his back checkers. And I believe that is a 6-1 for Rich. And he is hitting twice. He's got some cube leverage. 3 away to 2 away. Double deuce is a beautiful comeback. And he's thinking of which 4 point to make. Now I'm guessing that he is going to make his own 4 point in the end, because with a checker buried on the 1 point and the stack on his midpoint, Rich's priming chances are not so great. So that accentuates the value, increases the value of Michael's priming chances. So, and it's just so beautiful to play 6-4 twice with double twos in the early game. Now Rich had almost no choice but to run with a 5-4. He was thinking about stopping on the 20 point on Michael's 5 point, but decided to play safe and run out. 5-4 was a bad number for Michael. He made his 9 point, but he had to hit loose on his 1 point if he wanted to keep his 9 point made. So Rich fanned, and Mike on a 2 point board, and Mike rolled a 5-2, and Rich is now pops out to the 14 point. 21 numbers hit, double sixes plus any 3 and 2. Michael now rolls a 4-1, missing, slotting his 5 point and diversifying his back checkers. Very nice play there. 3-2. Now, Rich is thinking, shall I hit and pass? With a 3-2 hitting on the 3-point. Or he's thinking, shall I play? So I just play 14-11, 15-13, which, doesn't leave all that many shots, but does not put Michael on the bar. If Michael fanned, he'd be hard put to take at the score. Michael comes in and diversifies again. I think that's a nice play again. And now Rich has got to worry about those two outside blots. This was a drawback, slight drawback. So Rich is thinking, shall I play 14-9, 15-13? Shall I play 14-7? Those are the only two plays. This looks a little bit nicer because it brings a spare to the 7-point. And it duplicates a 3 to hit and to cover. It does not stack on the midpoint anymore. Michael misses with double fives. He's thinking about how to play it. If he plays, he's thinking about whether he should just make his 3-point. But that abandons outfield contact. I think the alternative is to come out to the 17-point, make the 2, and then play something like you play 9-4. But he's apparently didn't think the outfield contact mattered too much. And now he does have a nice. What he's gained is he's got a very nice smooth board, 5-point board, a 5-point prime with his 2-point open. But he still has back checkers in Rich's board. And he cannot escape with a 6 or a 5, so he rolls double threes. He keeps his 5-point board and slots his 2-point. He's got a direct cover. Rich does not think he has enough to double his builders. He's got 3 builders aiming at the 3-point, and he's got 2 aiming at the 2-point. Many numbers are duplicated. 6-5, which he's rolled as a blot number. Not very happy about that. Seemingly, this is the only real play to hit loose. Yeah, nothing else. Nothing else is hitting twice would be a kind of tough. But now he's a nice, very nice roll for Michael, hitting and coming out with 6-2. Rich hopes so he does. He hits with a 5-2. Now he can hit again. Cannon should hit again, I should say, because he can often just win with a cube if things look a little dangerous from here. And if they don't look a little dangerous, now he's got the option of playing for Gammon. A Gammon, an undoubled Gammon, would bring him to the Crawford game, 2 away, 1 away. There is some risk, though. There's some risk involved, but how much is that risk? It depends how he wants to play this. So he could make a 5-point prime 13-8. And again, he could just, barring real accidents, he could just cash. So this looks very prudent. He could play for Gammon and should, I believe, here if now that Michael stays on the bar. He can simply make the 3-point on Michael's head. He could make the 2-point on Michael's head. Now he's thinking about making the 2-point and maximizing builders for the other open point, paying off to double threes and double fours. Double threes would switch points in Michael's board, and double fours would hit outside on Rich's 8-point. Now he's saying, all right, I'll get off the double fours. and I'll still be able to cash almost all the time. Double four is still was not exactly getting off. You could have switched inside. It would have been much worse to have another checker hit. Now there are no zero numbers to hit for Michael. So Rich comes out and of Michael's board, and he maximizes builders and fan again. And now Rich does not attack on the 3-point, but he makes the 4-point or a 5-point board. And fan, he's still on the gammon try. 4-3. I guess he's going to hit. Yeah, he's not. He's thinking about not. He doesn't hit loose. I think maybe it was better to hit loose and perhaps double if he got hit back with a single 3, but I'm not sure about that. These guys are playing quickly, so it's hard for me to. Now, is this a good gammon try, or is this still a play on? The only blot numbers are 6-4 and 6-6. So that's less than a 3% chance of being hit immediately. Brings in 2 checkers. If he did get hit immediately, you have our turn a 2 back. 6-4. Okay, with no blot numbers, Rich might as well take a roll. 5-1. Now he's got a choice of bearing off 1 checker or bearing off 2 checkers. He bears off 2. Again, no blot numbers. He can cash whenever he wants to. Doesn't need to cash until there's some danger. So there's going to be some danger no matter what he does. The danger here is that he double blots with a 6-3. And okay, so double deuces, and Michael has to either switch points or bury a checker as 1 point. He switches to the 2-point. Now Rich is thinking about, should I still play on for gammon? 6-3 would be a nasty kettle of fish here. Other than 6-3, I believe Michael will have to drop anything. So Rich is just gonna bears 2 off for the 2-1. 6-2 he runs. Now 6-3 leaves a single blot. And I think that's the only blot number, 6-3. Yeah, the only blot number is 6-3 for Rich. Still plenty of time. Rich has got over 8 minutes left on his clock. 4-1. Okay, now I'm not sure. All right, so it seems that the safest play is to break the 5-point. Not sure that matters a hell of a lot. I believe it's a little safer to break the 5-point than the 6. I may be wrong about that. I'm relying on my memory instead of my quick calculating ability. So Rich is just going to double. Yeah, I think he's correct, because his gammon chances have gone way down. So now this ought to be the last game. Somebody's going to double and just go double take. Very, very unlikely to see anything else. The idea at the score is that you do not want to lose your market for the cube. If you give the cube away, it's dead. Okay, so your opponent cannot use that cube as a weapon against you. If it's 2-away, and the cube is a 2, it's just double match point. So you can play games. You can say, all right, well, I won't double because I can't lose my market yet. That's what Rich is doing. He said, okay, maybe Michael Valliere probably knows Michael's going to double him as soon as he can lose his own market. I don't think he can at that point. Now Rich says, okay, maybe I can lose my market with double 6 or something like that. So the take point of the score is about 31%. That's supposedly the chance that the trailer has if he's needs 2 versus needs 1 opponent in Crawford. So Rich made his bar point, and so did, what did Michael do? He made his bar point as well. And Michael, Rich just made his 5 and 3 points, and now Michael's got to think about how to play. He can't move his back checkers. He doesn't want to get primed, so he keeps as many checkers as he can in front of Rich's back checkers. He doesn't put the checker on the 3 point as he was thinking of doing the 6-2. Okay, now Rich plays safe. He makes the 10-point, lifts his blot from 8 to 7. He would have had 3 active builders in any case to make his 4-point. By going 8 to 7, he got rid of his slot for his 8-point. But his ace was a little problematic. And now Michael lost those 4 shots. So he elected to play safe with Rich did with a 1, 8 to 7. Now Michael's rolled an anti-joker double 6. His timing is shot to hell. He's hoping that he can get his back checkers moving quickly, because now he is way ahead of the race, I think. 44, 48, 69, 117, and 14. No, he's not. Well, after the double 4s, he's not. So Rich brings another builder for the open 4-point. And unfortunately for Michael, he cannot move his back checkers. This is double match point now. This is the last game of the match. Cuba's on 2, and Rich says, all right, with the 2 blots in Michael's board, I will go hell-bent for that 4-point and bring myself a builder there. Double ace. Now he can slither up. Very nice roll. Slither up to the 23-point. Can see daylight. Can get double 6 and run away. Or double 2 and move up. Or 6-1 or 6-2 to hit. Rich is not going to worry too much about that possibility. He makes the 4-point for. He needs that point in the long run. So he'll give up 4 shots while Michael's board is not quite tight. Now Michael's board is tight. He's got a 6-point prime, 5-point board. Rich moves a lot of freight with double 5s around the board. Michael keeps his board intact, gets 2 crossovers, hopes for double 6s or hopes for a bad sequence from Rich Munitz. Rich keeps a spare on his 6-point. That's important. I think he's right, because likely Michael's board is going to break, and he does not wish to run into something like 6-5 leaving 2 blots, or 5-4 leaving 1 blot. So since 5s do not play from the hardest point to clear, he gives himself a spare 5 on the next point, 6-point. Now he's thinking, okay, do I play the safest move, which is this, to come in? He's considering just clearing his 7-point. Does he have any blot numbers next turn? He would have a 6-3 blot number next turn. Would that be all? Double 4s would be safe. Yeah. 4-3 would be safe. No, 6-3 would not be a blot number. What am I saying? I'm lying. No blot numbers. You go 6 off, 6 to 3. Instead, he could play 5-4, 5-3, which is, keeps the 7-point, blocking Michael Valliere. It's we might have been tempted just to come in, but a 3-2, all's well that ends well. Rich comes in with a great position of spares. Michael cannot escape. He breaks his board. Rich bears 2 checkers off. The rule is you usually don't want to bury checkers on your ace point against a deuce anchor game. And Rich is following that logic. And a great roll, double threes. He's playing the safest. After Michael leaves the anchor, Rich switches to the 2-point, leaves even number of checkers on the end, 5-3. That's about all. He clears the 6-point safely. Michael will roll on, of course. There's nothing to lose. So he probably goes to 11 points, probably right. 4-2, 2 off. 5-2, 2 crossovers. He maximized double crossovers with that play last turn. 2-1 for Rich. The Kibitzers are screaming for double sixes for Michael. He rolls 5-2. Comes around the corner. 4 off. That's about all she wrote. But it doesn't cost anything for Michael to roll on. And now he gives up the 3-1. So Rich Munitz has he opened up a lead. He has won this match in the 3rd round of the main section, the open section of the Montreal tournament. Very, very good, very exciting match. Some turnarounds. Rich won a 4-point gammon to go ahead 6-3 to 9, and then Michael came back with a 4-point gammon, and at that score, he 2-way, 3-way, looked like he was going to win the match with the cube on 2, but he very unluckily left a lasted shot. Rich Munitz hit that shot and won that game. Had some gammon chances from 3-away, 2-away, but he with a cube on in the middle, but he couldn't make that work. He cashed the game and to go 2-away, 2-away, and the cube got to 2, and Rich Munitz won. Nothing much particularly going on in that final game, unfortunately, but it was not very exciting. But as no big decisions for either player really, but just good technique on the part of both players. So it was a very good match, and congratulations to Rich Munitz. We'll see what's going on from here.